The room is relationships. The room is you and me and everyone in America.
What are you talking about?
The room is different cookie cutter from Hollywood.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days.
What's going on?
Welcome to The Room Minute.
The podcast where we get obsessed with the cinematic classic The Room.
1 minute at a time.
You have no idea what kind of trouble you're in here, do you?
Why are you so hysterical?
We always wanted people actually talk about it.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
The whole movie sucked.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I don't know why I need to watch the minute again. It's just... Yeah,
you want to be prepared. Oh, hi, Walt.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Anyway, how is your
sex life?
Oh, I've been playing the sax for years. What the hell kind of question is that? I mean, like, how many times have you been sitting across the table from a friend and thrown that one out there?
Never? Never, yeah.
Really? Never?
Yeah, never.
I can say in my entire life, I don't think I have either.
Now on this podcast, I've taken the opportunity to ask a few times. Anyway, hi listeners. We're talking about minute 65 of The Room, in which secrets don't make friends. We're at the ice cream / coffee shop in Tommy Wiseau's building in San Francisco, where Mark and Johnny are having a heartfelt conversation about relationships and how much trouble they can be. And oh hi Allison.
Oh, hi, Rob. How's your sex life?
I don't have one. I'm a divorced father of 3. I don't have a sex life.
I like how the client's too personal to talk about.
What client? I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
That's too
Yeah,
confidential. Yeah, that's too personal.
Wait, you're jumping
tell you
past
that.
the lead here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Johnny has got a new client at the bank.
We got a new client at the bank.
I love how he pauses before at the bank, as if he got a new client somewhere else. When Mark asked how was work today, and they're going to make a lot of money.
We'll make a lot of money.
Mark, of course, wants to know what client.
What client?
But Johnny cannot tell him because it's confidential.
I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
Personal.
I don't know why Mark wants to know.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what Johnny does. He has ideas and the bank uses them to make money.
They already put my ideas into practice. The bank saves money.
That's all we know.
And they are using me.
And he should have gotten the promotion.
And I am the fool.
Because he saves them money.
Yeah. It would make more... A lot of what he says about working at the bank would make more sense if he was like a stockbroker.
The thing is, though, like, when he wrote this, I don't think that he knew what people did at a bank.
That's probably...
I think he knows that people work at a bank, but I don't think he knows what kind of things they do.
No. They have clients and they make money.
Right. And for him, beyond that, it's just amorphous. It's just people go into a bank and they work there for 8 hours and then they leave.
Yeah. Then they walk across the entirety of San Francisco to get home.
Right.
Or sometimes take the trolley. What's interesting is he did live in San Francisco, so he should have an idea of how people get around San Francisco. But we see him on the trolley and walking around, which locals don't really take the trolleys.
I'm just going to take a guess that he is fairly oblivious to anything that doesn't directly apply to him.
Who, Tommy or Johnny?
Yes. Yes to both.
Yeah, Johnny is a very true-to-life character in that way, because he's a lot like Tommy. So yeah, Johnny changes the topic of conversation by asking how Mark's sex life is.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
And Mark can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it?
So this conversation isn't going to go very far.
Yeah.
You can't throw out there, well, I've been banging your girlfriend.
Yeah, I can't say, well, your fiance's great.
Well, at this point, Johnny does know that Mark has been seeing someone...
I have a girl.
He said was married.
She's married. I mean, she's very attractive. It's driving me crazy.
And so there is reason for Johnny to be curious how that's going. But then Mark won't talk about it, so it doesn't matter.
For Mark, he's honorable. He doesn't kiss and tell. He doesn't sleep with Tommy's girlfriend and tell.
Yeah. And he's certainly not going to do it again anytime soon.
We can't do this anymore.
No, not...
I can't hurt Johnny.
Not in the next 34 seconds.
No. Mm-mm. Now, I did notice, after all the complaints about this being a restaurant where no one pays, Susan comes back to the table, says, take your time.
Take your time.
And sets something down. So there is some sort of bill. But then they switch to a shot of Tommy and the bill's gone. because Mark already has it in his hand. So they have a bad edit at the time when we should be showing. They actually have a bill, and this is a place of business that works like reality.
They pay like at the fancy restaurant.
Right.
Like where you pay after.
No.
Yeah.
Not like any coffee or ice cream shop I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. And it's not like a soup kitchen where you don't have to pay.
No, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I couldn't think of a restaurant where you order at the counter, go find a table, and then they find you with your food and bring a bill. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but I couldn't think of one.
Usually like the really fancy places, I feel like, do that. Or not like fancy, kind of. I don't know. Maybe I don't get out enough.
She doesn't ask them at the table if they want anything else, so what's the point?
Yeah, that's a good point. Usually when you have like a server.
Yeah, they're going to bring you a bill. They put it off until they can offer you more stuff. She didn't really do that.
She probably knows Johnny well enough that he has his drink, and that's it, and he's done. Has his drink, he asks uncomfortable questions, and then he's finished.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a guy behind Mark who's really wants to be on camera. Make sure he turns toward the camera a couple times. I think he didn't realize what this movie was going to be.
Because you sure don't want to show anybody this or tell anybody that you've been in it.
Check out my IMDb.
Oh, is he in there?
He may have been looking and going, why is there a camera there?
Maybe. Who knows?
Ooh, coffee shop customers are listed in, I don't know which one he is, but they are listed on IMDb. Oh my god, Susan's name isn't Susan.
Oh, what is it?
Her name is Padma Moyer. He gave her a name for no reason? I just assumed it was like she worked for him. This whole thing is a lie.
How funny would it be if, like, she really did work there, and he's like, what's your name? And she's like, yeah, we're going to change that.
Yeah, he's like, that's not American enough. We have to use Susan.
That's too complicated. Now your name is Susan. By the way, how's your sex life?
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Because I just assume he brings it up, like, at random.
Yeah.
That's his go-to, like, icebreaker.
Barista number 2 is Darren Jennings. Good job, Darren. I almost believed you worked there. I don't know which customer is which, but we got a Thomas E. Webster, Nora DeMarchi, Arel Mitkowski, and Frank Willie. Good for you, Thomas, Nora, Arel, and Frank.
That's a lot of people. I didn't even recognize there were that many people in there.
Well, there were 2 couples that ordered, that are sitting, one's behind Mark and one's behind Tommy.
Yeah, I must have dozed off.
So then Mark and Johnny make a date to go jogging at Golden Gate Park.
Oh, God, I have to run.
Already?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alright, it's on me.
Yeah. See you,
Mark.
Mark.
You go jogging?
Yeah,
Gate Park?
sure. What time?
Golden Gate Park, 6:30.
Right on. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I think we'll figure out later if this is literally when we see them at Golden Gate Park is this very day, or if they do this often. Johnny realizes he has to leave, which I don't know why he sat down if he had to go that quickly. But, he's got a file folder with him, so he's clearly doing important work.
Work of the bank. Again, Johnny has no idea what it is he's doing. He just knows that people who work have file folders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When they got new clients, you have to have a folder that isn't even labeled.
Oh, true enough.
And so Johnny says okie dokie bye, which is, very nice. And behind Mark, the guy is acting kind of sketchy when Johnny leaves, so he might be some sort of undercover cop who's staking out the weird foreigner who works at the
sequel
bank.
for The Room. We'll have him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He'll be investigating Johnny's death.
Oh, spoilers.
Well, he could also be a robber who was waiting for the place to clear out so that he could pull an armed robbery.
They don't have any money?
That's true. Maybe he realized that too late.
He's like, wait, we didn't pay. Did anyone else pay? Is there anything to steal? Get him to the wrong place.
Get San Francisco with your generosity.
That's why the property is expensive. It's because the food is cheap.
You can charge whatever you want if nobody's going to pay.
Yeah. And then we get to, we go back to the apartment where Lisa is leading Mark into the bedroom.
Right.
And in my notes I put, he waits until he gets into the bedroom this time to be confused. Because he says, what's going on here? Which is kind of silly.
May answer the question of why he doesn't know how his sex life is.
Yeah. He's like, wait, there's a bedroom up here? Why did we use the stairs last time?
I feel like it was just a few minutes ago that we were blaming the woman for ruining the friendship.
Well.
And now we'll get into that next minute, but he pretty easily gives in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we We don't know what happened downstairs this time, but, you know, he seems pretty into it by the time they're up here. He's just playing hard to get, or confused to get.
I think he's playing too dumb to get.
Yeah. She says, I like you very much, Mark. And he says, look, come on. And for the third time in the film, Mark points out that Johnny's my best friend. And I think we get it now. The tragedy is becoming clear, finally. 65 minutes into the film. And Lisa says, just one more time. And our minute, well, it's pretty clear they're starting to have sex, but we don't get to see most of that till next minute. Yay us.
The next minute's a good one.
Yeah. Now, before we get to there,
notes from a midnight screening.
Goth Girl, we get to see her spoon again at the beginning of this minute. So, spoons, and you throw plastic spoons. Everyone says, how is your sex life? Along with Johnny. We get to see Goth Girl spoon again when Johnny gets up to leave, so throw some more spoons. And then people get really confused and troubled when we cut to the bedroom. And you get random people saying, what? Wait, what's happening? Sex? No, because they're saying don't do it, you know? They want to save Mark from Lisa, but they can't. Mark is destined to be ruined by Lisa, because that is the way of life.
This minute has a little bit more action and adventure than the previous minute, but it still is not compelling. And it doesn't really push what we have of a plot along at all.
No. It sort of actively avoids it because Mark and Johnny aren't talking about anything. So I guess it's giving us a very clear picture of the divide that is forming between them. They can't talk about things anymore because it's brilliant.
I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
They used to just really freely talk about sex lives, and now it's getting slightly more difficult.
Yeah, because Johnny doesn't even know if he knows Mark's girl. Mark doesn't. It's all falling apart. You'd be surprised. We have almost an hour of the film left. What's going to happen? I actually don't know. I haven't watched this movie in a while.
Blotted that out of your mind.
Yeah. Anyway, in the meantime, Walt, who are you?
Who am I and how is my sex life? I am Walt Murray from the Wilder Ride podcast, and you can find us at thewilderride.com or on facebook.com/thewilderride. We break down the movies of Gene Wilder 1 minute at a time. We have already knocked out Young Frankenstein, which still is, I think, my favorite Gene Wilder movie. We spent in season 2 100 and some odd minutes covering Blazing Saddles, and now we're about to diligently work on Silver Streak. So if you want to hear our musings on that film and get some of Robert's musings on Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, right? You were with us for Young Frankenstein.
No, I wasn't there for Young Frankenstein, but I did Blazing Saddles twice, and I've already recorded a guest spot for Silver Streak.
Oh, great. Oh, and then you were actually the one who emailed us pictures of the theater, which is now a bookstore and a shoe store.
Yeah.
When we were talking about that. So you did have a part in season 1.
Yes.
So, so we've covered those two movies. Looking forward to covering Gene Wilder and a host of great actors, including Richard Pryor in Silver Streak. So come find us there. We're the Wilder Ride all over the internet.
So it's nothing wrong when people make fun of the project, in this case, The Room.
The Room Minute is a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com.
Follow The Room Minute on all the obvious social media. If you've got any stupid comments after the show,
you can leave them in your pocket on Facebook. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and a review on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for listening, and remember, if a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place to live.
Leave us!